Hey, and we're live.
Hello. Hey, here we are trying to have a conversation when the opening of the show was on there. We only get so much time together each week, and half an hour of it for sure is Mayor's Update. So Grayden and I use really quickly 15 seconds before and 15 seconds after to say, hey, how's family doing? What else we got going on?
Quick little catch up.
Also to compare notes of what's going on in our community. So we both don't give the same advice.
We've got our lists all down.
Yeah. Very busy council meeting last night, so we've got some of that to cover tonight. Lots going on. The Arts and Music Festival, we had Rick on last week, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
It's going to be an epic.
Yeah,
epic
and
festival.
A different genre of music each day, and lots of great
artists. My goodness.
So get yourself out to Pinafore Park. I almost said that in a bad way. Get yourself out to Pinafore Park Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Great music, great different types of music, lots of crafters, at least 4 or 5 different food venues.
Oh, right? At least, so, it's going to be packed.
It looks like the weather's going to be fine and pretty warm still, but Pinafore Park's a great place even in hot weather because of the tree cover. So perfect.
Yeah, and we just had a couple of great events as well. There was the Elmer Fair happening last weekend.
It was better than fair. I'm going to keep using that one. Yeah,
and then the Southold 175th.
The 175th in Southold, the puppy parade at Pinafore Park.
That's right, yeah.
It was hot for puppies, right? And
it looked like it was warm.
Hot out at the 175th.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? And I know that we threw a fire ban in, right? But I know we gave special permission for the fireworks for the 175.
They had the whole fire department for Southold, I believe, was there while they were lighting
catching the fireworks.
Yes, they were they're running around with buckets, actually. Yeah.
But can you imagine 175 years ago on the Fingal line or on
crazy
in Shedden?
Hard to believe.
175 years of history here in Elgin County. Congratulations to Southold and the recognition of 175 years. St. Thomas, your neighbor, says, way to go.
How old St. Thomas?
I guess we didn't get you anything. No.
How old St. Thomas? Do you know?
18 something. So we'd be pretty close to the same, I think, right? I think Southold would be older because St. Thomas was a couple of different villages. I know we had Steve telling us this a couple weeks ago. Sterling and a couple of other villages then became the town of St. Thomas, and that would be the date. So and then the Elmer Fair, I think it's like 177 years. So they had fairs before it was Elmer. No,
right? No, they did. Yeah, before the township existed, even.
Right.
Yeah,
but that was it. Fall fairs or after harvest fairs were the incredible way of celebrating that you had a good year and a lot of fun.
It was very cool.
Right? And it's still good to see them and have them going. And I'm happy to be becoming a part of the town of Elmer.
Yes, that's very exciting.
With a big new business out there, and want to have a lot of sponsorship opportunities for the Wendy's out there. And we'll see what else we can do to help. It's a growing community right now between Malahide and Elmer, and it's connected so differently. Malahide and Elmer, the whole place is growing. Way to go. Lots more neat new things coming to Elmer.
Yeah.
And wait till the people who are moving there go to get the first tractor pull in. Or
they won't know. It's just like
I want to see somebody from the GTA's first tractor pull.
Even when I went there, and it's getting bigger every year. Like, so even this year is like the tractor pull and the banger races they've got now at the Elmer Fair. It's just crazy.
Like demolition derby type.
Yeah. But you're racing around these cars. They had mini buses this year racing around.
One of my favorite pictures of Karen Vecchio and myself is we're in a car that's had all the windows taken out.
Yes.
And we arrived at the Elmer Fair, and they just said, drive up to the stage as fast as you can, slam on the brakes, and get out of the car and run up on the stage like you're late. We went. It was great. It was like Thelma and Louise. I don't know which one was Thelma and which one. No, it was a lot of fun.
Did you go over did they have the ramps then? Did you go over the ramp?
No.
We could have freeze framed that.
Beak straight, go there. I had what I thought was an award-winning sunflower that year up on stage. I had to get there before they picked the winner, but by the time I got there, Yurick had already, bribed the judges and claimed victory on the sunflower.
No, that must have been disappointing.
No, it was,
Yeah, but you get through it, I guess.
No, I got over it.
Have some fair food,
Oh, well, now when you go look, right, Boy, there's some great fields of sunflowers around too.
Right next to us, there are.
Picture of one, right?
Yeah, and my in-laws said, it's free for anyone who wants to pick, and they're like, share it out. And I was like,
a fundraiser for the hospice if you want to throw some money in to donate. But it's also a real I found looking out over a field of sunflowers.
Oh, it's incredible.
Exceptionally calming thing. So I want to remind all the folks watching this. I know we're a couple of minutes late coming on. Give us your questions. I keep getting more and more comments.
Doug Exner saying, did local MP Andrew Lawton agree to come on the show?
Yes, he has agreed, but we're trying to work out the right Tuesday night that he's not out at another event. We know that he has an ice cream thing.
August 20th, I believe.
August 20th, and the
Queso Station 1 to 3.
On the balcony, or on the deck at the Queso Station.
Yeah, and it's a fundraiser for our local food bank.
Yes.
So bring a non-perishable.
So if we're all there, getting free ice cream, probably will, we can ask Andrew together to solid up a date.
Right.
Okay. I'm meeting with him tomorrow. He's arranged a meeting with CN. So he and I are talking to CN tomorrow about a couple of other issues. And
very good.
How do we not run into the issues we ran into before? So right now I'm quite proud of the federal kind of work that he's doing in St. Thomas. We'll see how this lasts. It's right now he's being everywhere.
He is.
Right?
I am seeing him at all the different events. He was out at Elmer Fair. He was out at Southold's 175th, along with many other events.
Yeah. So, Doug, we're working on making it happen. We also have to apologize to the Special Olympics. We said we would have them on, talk about Special Olympics. Have not yet been able to arrange a date that works well. I'm seeing some of them at a Special Olympics soccer tournament that's happening in St. Thomas on Saturday. So we'll see what we can work out there too.
Yeah. Juggling schedules in the summertime is always a bit of a difficult process.
As you notice, I'm home. We're all in Grayden studio tonight, and
it's lovely.
And I spent the last couple doing it third party from up north, so it's great to be back home. But boy, nobody kind of does the stuff on my desk when I'm not here, and so I did come back to a fair bit of stuff that had to do, and a lot of interviews and work today. So lots to be done.
So many things. So what was happening at council yesterday?
Well, let's get it. We can do a few things here. It was a busy council agenda because we only have one meeting in August. So we started off with the Built for Zero group, which is a homeless reduction innovation fund service that we have with Built for Zero. We signed a new agreement with them, and of course, we are working very hard towards Built for Zero.
Yeah, it's incredible the work that everyone has done.
But we've had lots of good conversation with them. This is a fund with a contribution of $448,000 to help us look at not only homeless we have, but ensure that once we house people, their housing stability is also there. And as St. Thomas moves forward into the Built to Zero program, we'll need to make sure that the cure we have for homelessness is a permanent one. So then we talked about community improvement plans, one on Metcalf Street and another one on Ross Street. These are community improvement grants for additional housing. CIP, Community Improvement Plan, will give you a certain amount per apartment, certain amount for tax abatement, certain amount to help you against development charges, and so that we can get more rental housing in St. Thomas. We continue to work on things like the St. Thomas official plan and community planning for permits, so that we've always been well known here in St. Thomas to be very quick with permits, very cooperative with permits for building and stuff. Other communities are starting to catch up to us a little bit, so we're looking at better ways where we can pull ahead again. So we're working on that.
Exciting.
And then again, some amendments in the official plan for community improvements for additional residential units. Those are those accessory units we've talked about a lot, where if you've got a lot that's big enough, you can now have up to 4 units there. The original house, of course, in a lot of cases, then a basement apartment is made, as long as you can make it escapable and do that. Then another one in the garage, perhaps, and then a granny type suite in the backyard. But there are some limitations because we have to make sure there's enough parking for 4 apartments after it's done. You can't just go do it. We have to make sure that we can approve it that way. But we'd love to see as many of those built as we possibly can in our community. So we also talked about the update on the Community Sport and Recreation Infrastructure Fund. We had applied for a grant to build some pickleball courts, right? Because we had them shovel ready. We had the ability for them to be done. It's just oversubscribed, the amount of money in the provincial recreational fund. So we didn't get it. We probably still likely will build those same pickleball courts, but it would have been a lot easier with them. We talked a lot about the new childcare startup grant funding. We're trying to establish more childcare funding or childcare spaces in our community. Some money is available provincially, so your city keeps asking, where can we get this? How do we do it? What locations are available for people to build and make childcare? All right, we've got Orange Shirt Day, the flag raising ceremony on the 30th of September, Tuesday, September 30th, and we're closing off Talbot Street between Mondayman and Ross so that we have safety on the street. And so that was what that was about last night. You remember the St. Thomas Optimus Children's Festival that happens September 13th in Optimus Park. That's very close to me. So, but there's an exemption to the animal control bylaw. They were for, I forget what, is this another petting zoo? No, reptile show. Show. Yeah.
Those things are intense.
And then we've offered free transit for an open house for accessibility. So people are trying to get to the Joe Thornton Center on Friday, September 26th for the accessibility workshop. And there's a whole setup of different displays and stuff. We've said yes to free transit there. Told you there was a lot. The Veterans Memorial Crosswalk.
Yes.
We talked for about a year now about a crosswalk that recognizes veterans. It will be across Moore Street at Talbot. So right by the Memorial Garden as you walk to the Memorial Garden.
Amazing.
So it's a red and white stripe with a couple of soldiers on it. It looks really beautiful. We'll get that done before Remembrance Day this year.
Very good.
All right. We had an update on the Burwell Road widening and Fairview Road widening. There's a piece of acquisition we have to do so we can put an extra right turn lane in off Burwell Street. So that's happening also.
Yeah, and if you want to see the demolition video that we put together for the Beehive, that's on. If
you haven't gone and visited the site, I asked last night, how dangerous is it? I live fairly near and I was going to walk over. He said, you should have seen the crowd we had on the day we really did take down the bridge. But if you stay in a safe distance, you can go look underneath, or not get right underneath, but nearby so you can see what it looks like where it used to be. The last of the very large manhole covers that was put in on the Burwell side of Talbot. So I think you're going to see the traffic now switch over to that side, to the north side of Talbot, while they continue to work on the new overpass, or the underpass underneath where the overpass used to be.
And another item on that too, I know the businesses have seen a downturn in their business, and the Brywood's still open. Fries R Us, the Chip Shack, is still open there. So make sure you still
go that way every day. And I've been in Brywood a couple of times, and you're right. I guess
it hasn't changed my patterns. I still go in there. But I heard it was.
But then I can't turn at Burwell or at Fairview because I forget.
Right.
So I go up to Manor Road and around and get back over to the mall. Look, our city is open for business everywhere, but let's support the businesses that are being affected by construction.
Doug Exer saying, any idea yet where the proposed site for the new city recreational center indoor pool might be?
No, we have our committee that is working on that. Obviously, we can't put together that package till we also establish what could be the sites. There can be a couple of proposed sites. But we're still at the point where we're looking at what does it contain. Is it a pool? Is it a recreational center? Is it both? Is it have indoor turf fields? Is it right? And I keep kind of pushing the committee that's on there, and we have a report coming back from the consultant very shortly, to get this in a box, because we can't afford to do it right now the way it currently sits, because we first of all don't even know what it looks like. But second, to get it in a box so that if the feds or the provinces come up with funding for recreational centers, we can at least say, got one, we're ready. But how much is coming? Because these things are really expensive to do if the city has to borrow all the money to do it. It's a huge tax cost to the city. So we want to make sure we're ready to go for when that happens. So let's get this done, and we are working on it. So.
And Candace is saying the Briarwood Farm Market was easy to get in and out of today. Open lane over Fairview was moving down Talbot. I've been in a bunch of times. I've never had any issues getting in or out.
No, but I think you just, I'm going to avoid there.
Yeah.
And so please don't avoid there. I mean, the Royal Bank is across the road. There's the other steak restaurant.
1160.
Right.
It's fantastic. I've been there. There's Caesars in particular. Very good.
I'm pretty pleased with food anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, we continue to work on it. Right. Let's do that. And we did want to say, we think we kind of did construction in a smarter way this summer.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the busiest street as you can get, Fairview and Burwell at Talbot.
Yeah.
But we're not having as many roadblocks in other areas of town. There's some other street, I think Forest Street. There's some others that are still being finished, and we got very good deals. We got them out early because we finished our budget early.
Center Street too is looking great.
Center Street, that whole rebuild, absolutely. We've got and up near in the northeast near Yarmouth Yards.
And Chestnut
there's a
as
bunch
well.
more happening. I see the road coming off the Highway 3 roundabout now into the site is looking.
I was out there, getting some shots today.
So, very pleased. And that one doesn't affect anybody, so it shouldn't be in anybody's way.
Yeah.
But it just means that in the future, we don't have to do that while cars are trying to drive on it, right?
And Ron McNeil's closed from Highbury over to Yarmouth Center.
Yeah, there's a roundabout going in on one of the north roads reaching out to Ron McNeil.
Also looking really well.
Yep.
Really good.
Look, the more stuff we can do on that site, before there's a whole lot of people driving on it or trucks delivering goods and stuff, the better off we are. So thank you all very much for letting us get that work done too. It's coming in with good budgets and being done completed pretty quickly. And we're seeing a lot of it on Beehive and we're learning all about how to drive a roundabout last week. Right? I knew I was right in most of the things we were talking about and how to do it. So, happy to have more questions about anything. What else happened? Overdose Awareness Day. The Nameless put that on every year, August 31st. So it's a proclamation and flag raising that will happen. The Crime Stoppers Awareness Month is also September, so we'll do that too. That is September, happening on the 8th. Welcoming Week, which is a proclamation for the local St. Thomas Elgin Local Immigration Partnership. That's happening September 12th. You can attend any of these flag raisings. It's quite often. We love to have crowds out when we're doing it. So look them up. Big Brothers Big Sisters Month is also September. And so we have a flag raising and proclamation and a jumbo lighting for them too on September 15th, I think. It's the month of September. So that's the best I can.
And their road races are coming up as well. And you can walk, you can jog, you can run. And that's in the end of September. So register for that if you.
Right. The other thing we did last night was we had another request from the folks at the Railway City Music and Arts Festival.
Yeah.
To help us cover some more of the funding that it costs them to rent the park. And council unanimously said, 4-day festival in our community needs the help. Let's use some of the council grant money we have to move them along. Now, they'd already got one grant this year, so this is a second one this year. Yeah. We're probably going to hear from a couple of other groups saying, well, you limited us to one, but this is a festival we're really trying to get its feet under itself and and get a great job. So we were happy to do that. Ontario Public Library Week, October 19th to 25th, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, September, doing it all. And then we had a notice of motion at our last meeting from Councillor Taylor about can we research moving our downtown shelter?
Right.
Now, you all know Earl is an incredible guy when it comes to downtown businesses and proud of his community. And he just wanted to ask the question, can we do the research and how much would it cost if we did it? Is there another group or the board of directors from the current inn, would they be interested in it? It was just to do the research, and we even set a budget of very close to $1 million in his motion. Now, the motion was defeated last night, but not because we didn't all speak to where we are in our homelessness adventure, where we're going, and that the shelter will eventually not be as crowded or needed at all. But we need to work towards that. And I just said I'd rather have our housing people working on those types of things than going out looking for new shelter. Shelters are pretty critical to be near the services that are also provided. Certainly any community I've ever visited has an emergency shelter. It's in the core of the city. Could we do better jobs? Absolutely. We don't think we've got that one perfect, but we think we've got it excellent. It's going pretty well. And so some of the discussion we had last night on that will still take place. We'll still be out doing it, even though the motion wasn't accepted last night. And that's really all of it from last night. I can't tell you what happened at closed session. So that was a lot to cover. It's we went to 7 o'clock last night, so that's a 2-hour meeting for us. That's double our normal meeting, but it's still in the real scheme of things. I bet Central Elgin went more than 2 hours last night.
Oh, wow.
Well, we've learned how to work well together and accept that when something passes at council, it's unanimous, and we move forward and we do more things.
Get it done.
Aha. Rita wants to talk about Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, absolutely.
And 2 former competitors, somebody named Joe and Grayden. We were each in that same year. You and
we
Jess
were,
did a fantastic job. All right. And it's at the Dancing with the Stars happening Friday, September 5th at the Railway Museum.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where we
were, and it was
goes
phenomenal.
Back and forth to the station also, but it's at the Railway Museum. Great event. Tickets are still available, but going fast. Get them while you can. I'm hoping that Stephanie's back in town so that her and I can go too. So that's the answer. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be if you haven't gone out and checked it out, you need to, because it's one of these events that are unique to St. Thomas, and for the money, they provide an above and beyond experience, a dance experience.
Janet says terrible location for Indwell, should be moved. You mean the Balaclava School, the station with Indwell, or the lofts? You're talking about Indwell, or you're talking about the emergency shelter at the inn? If you're talking about the emergency shelter at the inn, I just gave you most of that from what last night's motion talked about. We will certainly, as we continue to build Indwell projects like the Balaclava, the 78 units at Balaclava, move closer and closer to zero on homelessness, and therefore nobody living at the shelter. So we'll continue to move forward on it. Thanks for the shout out for Indwell.
All right. And then I think we got PowerCo Jobs.
Oh, PowerCo Jobs. Last Wednesday, because we did Mayor's Update, I was up north and we had Rick on and we talked all about the Railway City music. But the day after, PowerCo came full force out with jobs available on its website here in St. Thomas for the startup of the PowerCo, the EV battery plant. And look, it's an across the board. I think there's over 40 jobs available right now on their website. They're hiring as fast as they can. Their HR people are working their tails off. A lot going on as we get ready to build, right? As we get ready to move forward.
Like very soon.
But start getting yourself ready. We've had this conversation on here before that we can't bring 4,000 jobs to our community and then say, oh, how come I didn't get one of those?
Right.
What are you doing? You get yourself ready for those jobs. Now, we recognize some of these first jobs are very specialized chemists, battery and construction supervisory jobs, but some of them, somebody in town must be prepared for that job and want to do it. And so please get yourself ready for the hiring that PowerCo is going to be doing. Grayden and I have talked about this on the show. We don't want to hear 2 years from now, well, somebody came from out of town and took my job. Yeah. Yes, he will if he's more prepared and ready to go. So start preparing yourself. Dale said the city should clean up the mess beside the bus station. Yes, and bill the owner for the cleanup. Both things are happening. We talked about it yesterday. there's some, we always have to be sure that the owner is insured for the costs we're going to give him, but the cleanup will happen. The private company will come do it. And I think this week or very shortly. And then it gets put on the owner's taxes.
Yeah.
And look, he already had his building burned down. So we're trying to be as good as we can about it, but we would we give a short period of time for it to really get cleared up, down to the stones, down to the pathways, down to, so that the next building can be done on that site. We don't want to leave a spot in our downtown any longer than we need to.
Yeah. One of the things I was talking to the Downtown Development Board was putting a proposal together from us in terms of how, if we can work towards putting up a fence and putting some artwork on it when events like that happen, so that it can immediately go up and help.
Well, we immediately put up a rental fence to block both ends, so nobody was getting in there.
Yeah.
That's a costly thing, but we pay for that in the beginning. It ends up going back. But I'd like to see but the problem with putting up a wooden shroud fence that we could do murals on, I don't want it to be a permanent blockage. This isn't a permanent feature for that lot. We'd like somebody to build on it.
Yeah.
As quickly as we can. But you've come across a great idea we could do. Front and back, permanent shroud fencing, right? And it's got good walls on both sides. And we do it for murals.
Yeah.
Right?
And then we take them down when they're ready to build up. Right. And in the meantime, we don't have to.
Well, and Doug is saying that's what insurance is for. Absolutely. Right.
But it takes a while for insurance to pay out sometimes.
Well, and we have to also cite it as a property standards issue, and then it can go ahead and be done under certain other rules. So we're on it. We've somebody left a message here last week for me on it. I immediately talked to Lisa, our city manager, and we're on it. We're going. Right, but we'll go as fast as we can. It has to be declared property standards issue. I think that goes without saying, but the mayor is learning to be patient, because sometimes there's rules we have to follow also.
It's difficult sometimes.
Oh, it's difficult to say. What do you mean? Just go clean it up.
So how does it feel when people, like, when you're working on these things and then people are like, why aren't you doing anything on this thing?
Well, you know me. Sometimes I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I mean, it does upset me when somebody says, "Get your head out of your ass and go do some other work." But for the most part, I think this council has done a pretty good job of listening to the people, of doing things like mayor's updates. So we're doing transparency, adding on more communication in public meetings, so that we get as much input as we possibly can as we move forward with the secondary plan and others. All of this stuff is done for transparency, so we can show you we're listening and really want to help. I think sometimes I can say 5 times, "Hey, we're doing this." And then the next day on one of my favorite social media sites, somebody says, "Hey, why aren't you doing this?" Right? Well, I get it.
My favorite is when we've been talking about it for like 2 or 3 years, and then someone comes on and says, "Why aren't you doing anything about this?
I've never heard you talk about this one at all."
You haven't talked about that once.
Well, and you'll see that occasionally now. It's happening on, say, St. Thomas Happenings, my favorite social media site.
Yeah.
And I will put a post up to say, "Why don't you come on Mayor's Update and ask that exact same question so that I can share it with
everybody,
the 10,000 people we get on Mayor's Update, instead of repeating it 100 times on St. Thomas Happened," because it seems the minute it falls off the page,
it's
somebody
gone.
else asks the same question again. So lovely. A great way to get issues out there, but we're happy to answer them on here every Tuesday night.
Absolutely. And I think that's a perfect place to close it out. So thanks again for joining us.
Service.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I've been sending more people to customer service as they've asked for questions. One of the questions that came in, we'll just close it, for affordable housing. And I said to contact customer service to get all the different contacts if you're looking for affordable housing.
Eastwood's building an 85 unit building that's almost, deeply affordable. We've got a few of it to help with some of our supportive housing, but we're keep pushing for all of the build we can do. Will make more of it affordable. We're trying to plan now, as we move to zero on homelessness over the next year, 18 months, that we'll need at least a couple more buildings like the Indwell buildings. They don't have to be Indwell, but we'll move them as true affordable buildings.
Right. There was another question that came. I'm just trying to remember. I'll see if I pulled up. It was about a pylon that was out by, I think it was out by Parkside, somewhere like that. Did you hear about that?
A pylon. No.
It was like blocking like an accessibility button for crossing the road.
Is Is it a construction pylon?
I think it was a construction pylon. Anyway, we're going to touch. I'll look it up.
Construction out there.
I'll look up and get. We'll do that to next week.
Yeah, we'll put it up.
But we're out of time tonight, so we're going to run off. But we'll get to your questions. Send them in. If we don't get them to right away, we'll get them to the next week.
Right.
So everyone, take care, and we'll see y'all next week.
Right.